Hello everyone, it's your boy Loki here today. Back with another reaction. Now the video that we got is most disturbing crimes that happen in the Sonic community. And this is by Yap Master. And let's get on with the video.
These are the most disturbing members of the Sonic the Hedgehog community, and as the video goes on, they only get darker. Back in the 2000s, YouTube was a haven for reviewers. People used to review games, movies, and even other reviewers.
Yep,
Each reviewer had their own
those.
style of passing comments on the medium they were talking about. And it was around this time that a separate group of reviewers appeared, who can be broadly categorized under the term Sonic YouTubers. And one strange and noteworthy
Sonic
YouTuber from that group
YouTubers
was John Burris, who created the channel Mario the Plumber in
Actually, hold on, let me grab my Sonic plushie real quick. Alright, I'm back. I had to grab my own Sonic plushie. Alright, let's get back to the video.
2010. The reason John deserves a mention in this video will be very obvious when one looks at the videos he actually made.
Okay, what kind of videos he made?
I mean, what the fuck? It's stupid. They better close their channel if my channel gets closed.
Close a channel?
These videos, which were supposed to be reviews, turned out to be completely opposite by not containing any valid criticism. In them, John actually had a tendency to utter a slur or a curse word almost every 5 seconds. And this wasn't even done in the most pleasing of ways, since the videos themselves were of very low quality, in which the audio was distorted and loud. And on the other hand, the video quality was also extremely low.
Why did you have to make this game so close?
Coming to the review.
Bro, I don't understand the hate with Sonic Adventure 2. That game is a classic. Like, seriously. I don't understand the hatred of this game when it came on the Dreamcast. And then, like, later in the year, it came to, like, PC stuff like that.
You have to make this game so
I'll never understand the hate with this
part
game.
of his videos,
Like, it's a great game. I just never played it.
Sonic looked before
But it's a good game,
a much
though.
more modern version. And in one of his videos, he had a lot to say about this new design.
Arms and legs are like noodles. He's
Dog.
green-eyed, ugly.
With these opinions, he would voluntarily debate and fight with people online, and would express how racist and prejudiced he was. Similarly, any other non-Sonic game would be treated very badly in his videos, and he once went as far as to destroy the CD of
Spyro the
a very
Dragon,
popular PlayStation game about dragons, on camera and posted on his channel.
Spyro 3 year.
Yo, what you doing to the disc?
PlayStation greatest.
This sucker just
This
been
guy
in the
made a
disc
notorious
like
YouTuber
it's
back in the
nothing.
day, and other reviewers started making videos calling him out on this behavior. If John were to do these kind of videos in this day and age, people might have ignored him as a troll, but back then they all really took him seriously.
Dude.
Mario the Plumber is very similar to Testes125.
Ow.
He bashes Sonic games for no good reason, except I consider him worse than Testes125.
And in fact, this was because he gave them a reason to believe he wasn't just a normal troll. In 2014, Nintendo released Amiibo toys of their Mario Smash Bros.
Oh
franchise,
snap, I
and to
remember
put it simply,
those.
these toys were like
Amiibo.
really premium stuff, which had high demand. And so within minutes
I
of the release, they were
remember
completely sold out.
those.
And one of the toys was that of the character Rosalina, who coincidentally turned out to be the character that John really hated. He even made a whole video in which he ranted in a detailed manner about how Rosalina was a bad
This sucker don't like Rosalina?
character and how her design was just awful.
This is not a Mario character. She was meant to be a influence for the people that got off to her, who made her the studio.
Hey, yo!
And she is also meant to push forth the Moan movement, which is just Japanese waifu characters talking in a bunch of moans.
But this would pale in
Dog. What anime got to do with Rosalina? Hey, hold on, what this dude say?
Japanese waifu characters talking in a bunch of moans.
but this would pale in comparison to what he would do next. In the same year, he spent $4,000 to buy all the Rosalina amiibo toys he could, not for reselling or collection purposes, but with the sole intent to reduce the availability of those toys, so that someone who was actually a fan of the Mario franchise wouldn't actually be able to get their hands on them. And he also made sure that this intent was known to everybody by posting pictures of himself with those toys.
This sucker bought every single Rosalina figure just to make sure nobody else would get them, bro. That is insane. So where's all that money to buy every single Rosalina figure? 4,000, bro? 4,000. You ain't gonna see me spending $1,000 on just buying a bunch of figures. I mean, if I had all them figures like that, might as well just give it away.
That's how much he hated anything modern about Sonic. But eventually, he actually ended up facing consequences for what he did, when one group of Rosalina fans was so angry with him that they literally doxed him by exposing all his private information, and they even hacked into all of his email accounts.
Have people threaten to leak my personal information, which
that's too far. Doxing, bro, that's too far.
For gaming hacked, which had my real information and location.
After all of this drama, John made a video which delivered a shock to a lot of people.
Like opinions such as or something like that, it's an exaggerated factor, but I do believe characters like Palutena and Rosalina are designed for that core fan.
In the video, he admitted that everything he did on YouTube for the past 5 years had been an elaborate lie just to rile people up. And the response to this was actually quite surprising, since many people thought John was impressive for pulling off something like this. Now, for most of the later parts of the 2010s, John would disappear, but he would make his comeback in 2023, now battling a little less for Sonic's classic design. At the same time as John, there was another YouTuber who was making reviews like him, but whose style was very different, and he would get into much more serious trouble because of this.
Dang, what you do?
Amongst the multitude of reviewers who were talking about Sonic because of this.
Hot chick
Amongst the multitude of reviewers who were talking about Sonic, Dylan Guptill, or Guptill89, clearly stood out from the others. Dylan was different, because while all the other reviewers were acting out weirdly and wildly in their videos to get as much attention as possible, he was the one who actually seemed to review things in a very respectable and articulate manner. You don't find any of the shouting and screaming that John's videos are filled with. Dylan made his videos with a commitment and dedication that was spent upon ensuring his viewers got what they deserved.
When you don't script yourself, you sound
Dad
boring with
Hokus
a lot
looked
of
weird.
ums, and many pauses.
Apart from these reviews, his channel also contained his hand-drawn Sonic animation videos.
Gotcha this time, Sonic!
Amy, what's the deal? Why can't you just go bother someone else?
Overall, while Dylan was
okay, the hand-drawn animations are not too bad.
Slightly pretentious, and this opinion was strengthened more when Dylan started criticizing other reviewers in his videos on the basis of their style of presenting their reviews. But this wouldn't really age well when he himself did a very stupid thing. To this day, there's one video of his that is always brought up in discussions about him, and that one is where he rates the hotness of female characters in the Sonic universe, which he also called Hot Chick Heaven.
Speaking of females, the Sonic universe might also be classified as Hot Chick Heaven because there's such a mess of very beautiful.
Hey. Sonic X is a classic. Classic anime, by the way.
Beautiful and tough women that it'll make you love the franchise even more.
On the surface, this might seem like some weird YouTuber doing weird ratings, but it was more than that back in the day. To begin with, rating females in the Sonic universe made Dylan seem like a furry, because Sonic characters are literally anthropomorphic hedgehogs, and universe made Dylan seem like a furry, because Sonic characters are literally anthropomorphic.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I have plushies of like one of the Sonic characters. I got like hold on. I got like Metal Sonic, Tails, Darth Eggman. I got Cream, Eevee. Silver Sonic, I got Super Sonic. Jet the Hawk, and then I got Chaos, and then I got Blaze. Vector, I don't have them. I had SBO before, and then like I'm trying to say delay. I think like it like ripped off when like I had them first.
Morphic hedgehogs.
And I have this
and so
thing
this
too.
was as weird and controversial as it is now. Secondly, another important thing was that one of the characters, Amy Rose, was only in the Sonic universe, which obviously made people call Dylan a PDF file. And so at one point the criticism and ridicule got so bad that Dylan himself had to delete the video entirely. But a few years later he actually remade the video, this time offering an explanation at the beginning.
Now I want to get one very important thing straight. There's nothing even remotely or quote about this list, and there never was.
Now over the years the opinions about him changed. People started to criticize him less and less and wondered whether Dylan was someone who was way ahead of his time actually. And there are multiple comments saying stuff like,
way ahead.
Nobody can tell if Guptil89 made this video completely seriously or if he was 13 years ahead of his time in irony and posting. But unlike Dylan, who denied loving Sonic characters in a very weird way, this next man took his obsession to another level.
Princess Sally is real. No, that's not a person in a costume. That's Sally Acorn in the flesh.
What?
And fur and bone.
Hey, yo!
Sally Acorn was a significant character who appeared in the Sonic the Hedgehog comic series, published by Archie Comics. While Sally had considerable popularity through the comics, her real claim to fame was during one incident regarding an artist who was inspired by her in a very strange way. In 2009, a user named Great and Dine posted an image to DeviantArt, which is a website for artists and art enthusiasts.
Hey, 2009 was a weird time for the internet. 2009 was a weird time for the internet. That was a wild era for like the internet. Star Trek got rebooted, and bro, so many good movies came out in 2009, bro. I ain't gonna lie, like for real though. Bro, so many, bro, even like Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. Bro, 2009 was good for movies. It was a wild time for the internet, man. Wild time for the internet.
Enthusiasts who talk about and post their drawings. Something like,
oh, anybody that don't know, I got a DeviantArt, by the way. So y'all can follow me on DeviantArt. Those you that didn't know.
Reddit, but only for art. The image Great and Dine posted was a photo of a Sally Acorn life-size plushie. Now while there are a lot of life-size plushies, this one managed to grab everyone's attention because of how real it looked. Many people even thought that it was
looked real though.
Before Great and Dine eventually clarified that it was an actual doll. But there was actually more to it. On the surface it looked slightly creepy, and people assumed that it must be one of those dolls that people use to have fun, if you know what I mean. People expected such a doll to be stuffed with dolls that people use to have fun, if you
dolls that people use to have fun. Dolls, bro?
You know what I mean. People expected such a doll to be stuffed with cotton or some fiber, but that wasn't the case here. This doll had a whole internal framework that eerily resembled a human skeleton, and this is where people lost their minds and started calling
actual
skeletons and a pervert. More than the fact that he'd built such a doll, people were offended at the fact that he allegedly decided to do it with human bones, and they started flooding him with messages
Where did he
about
get
how
those
he was
from?
creepy and evil for doing something like this. And naturally, people started categorizing him as a furry, which further worsened his reputation. But they were all kind of wrong. It turns out, according to Great and Dine, it was all wood. In a message on his profile,
I'm glad I'm not a
frustrated
furry.
with all the hate, he wrote, "Warning, by posting stupid empty accusations on my page, you're openly admitting that you are a stupid moron. Okay, one last time. For all the brain-dead little idiots who feel the need to express an unearthly compulsion to say something about me, having used a real human skeleton to make a doll, I have some very bad news for you. You do not possess free will. You simply lack that property of sentience." In another post, he went into details about the materials he used for the doll, while his skills and creativity of sentience. In another post,
a little about her materials: body, skeleton, wood, wire, putty. Muscle spandex stuff for polyfluid. Skin stretch valid. Eyes clear, plastic glows painted on the inside. Okay.
post, he went into details about the materials he used for the doll. While his skills and creativity impressed many, some were still in disbelief over what he did. They claimed he was sick for trying to create something like that, while others didn't buy the not real bones thing. They claimed that he really did use actual human remains. And the ones who did believe him still went on to question why he would ever make such a thing.
What so I mean, he armed somebody for that?
Nothing that comes to mind, but thank you for your concern. Ignoring every criticism he got, Graydon died to update the people on the Sally doll, which was clearly a project he didn't plan to stop soon. Once in a while, he would post pictures of Sally in inappropriate clothing, which wasn't well received by many. And when one user asked him why he portrayed Sally in such a lewd manner by giving her inappropriate and unnecessary organs and clothes, Graydon replied with, "I like them, and lingerie. Simple question, simple answer." And Graydon might still be working on his doll, but for now there aren't any updates. In September 2025,
bro, this why I be careful what I put on the internet, because you guys are
this time he crafted an almost
sick
real
people
skull
just
out of wood.
posting whatever on the internet thinking they can get away with it.
Whose fame would be overshadowed by
you
things
can't get away with anything you put on the internet.
Tails suffered this.
The least criminal thing he does is eating with cream and the...
Miles Tails Prower, a prominent character in the Sonic universe, appears in both the Sonic video games and the popular Sonic television series in the United States. However, on internet forums such as Reddit and 4chan, Tails' name became less associated with the television series and more with a very sinister
no. I do not want to know what's in this comic. I do not want to know what's in it, bro. 2 babies and 1 fox, bro. What is this a parody of?
Comic. This began in 2015 when a picture of Tails appeared on...
Dog, 2015? 2015? Dude! 2015. It's like I was watching Tom and Jerry back then. What the heck,
in this
bro?
image, Tails was seen sitting on a bench in a park, and while it seemed totally normal, some reactions were quite different. People started responding negatively to the post, as if it was a sin to even look at this apparently normal image. This confused many, as it seemed like this picture was actually a part of something that the majority didn't know about. So many users decided to do some digging to find the source of that image, and this proved to be a very bad decision. The source of the picture was a highly disturbing comic titled 2 Babies 1 Fox, a reference to the infamous internet video 2 Girls 1 Cup.
No. We don't talk about that video. We don't talk about that video, bro. Bro, oh my god. I seen people react to that. I want to know, why was that video put in the internet in the first place? Bro, the internet was such a weird time.
About
the internet was a weird time because you had people just putting random videos. Like, early 2000s was a weird time for the internet. Like, really weird. I'm so glad my little self didn't see those kind of videos because, man. I'm so glad I was thinking about that. I just kept my mind on watching cartoons, bro.
Which, though that said, is better probably. Describing this topic in detail would get me absolutely banned from YouTube, so I'll do my best without going against.
Yeah, you don't want to look that up.
The comic starts with Tails sitting on a park bench and watching 2 kids playing. He seems to think of something devious and goes to interact with the 2, after which he convinces them to come with him to a secluded spot in the park, and you probably know where this is going. Once there, he basically performs unspeakable acts with these 2, who are portrayed as if they are enjoying what is being done to them in the comic. And on top...
Oh, I'm so glad it's blurred. I'm so glad it's blurred. Oh my gosh, bro. You're gonna do this to the gold tails, bro? Bro. What a weird era for the Sonic computer. That era was, man. And then that That video I talking about when I was reacting to the Sonic episode 66 retake. When I was talking about Sonic and Shadow, bro. Oh my gosh, bro.
On top of it, Tails not only inappropriately interacts with them, but also does this stuff with quote-unquote brown mud, you get what I mean. And the story just goes on to become even more disturbing. When this first appeared, it was safely hidden in the dark corners of the internet, away from the popular sites. But unfortunately, over the years, due to platforms like 4chan and Reddit, it gained a more widespread audience, which even led to the creation of the meme Bench Tails. And this is the context in which the image appears on 4chan every now and then. Now coming to the authors of this comic, the title page tells us that it is Unistar and Lonnie, and a YouTuber called Cam actually found out about Unistar's Ink Bunny account, which is a furry art community. So you can only imagine what Unistar actually posted there. They posted more similar devious comics, and this is actually where the Tails comic first appeared. While this was
I do not want to read
Uni,
those.
more information was available about Lonnie, who was active in the era of YouTube poop videos, which were videos in which scenes from different movies and shows were taken and edited in a funny manner. In fact, Lonnie, who was then known as Tecker Audio, was actually a respected member of the Brazilian YouTube community. And the main reason people believed Lonnie was Turk Audio was because Lonnie's account on Ink Bunny had Turk Audio as an alternate username. But the drama got very real when Turk Audio himself commented under Cam's video. "This will never end. I don't understand why YouTubers are still milking this thing over and over with my misery. Nobody knows anything about my life and why that happened, just for views and money. That shows how people are horrible. My life is not destroyed because I have strong friends with me. I don't need parasites and fake friends and people trying to troll."
That right there. That right there. This is what go on the internet nowadays, doing anything for views and money. Like, they're just doing anything for views and money. Like, seriously.
Troll me over and over. Do your silly content over someone you don't even know. Au revoir. But unlike this one, this next case is not fictional, but as real as it gets.
I'll clarify that to me, it's not a
Even though the Sonic the Hedgehog TV series aired for only 2 seasons from 1993 to 1994, it managed to stand out amongst other Sonic media of its time. This was because this series had a much more dramatic tone, which helped glue people to the TV screens while it played. But due to demand for other shows and
I remember Johnny Bravo, bro.
the slot allotted for the series had to be cancelled, and the show came to an abrupt end. While this termination went mostly unnoticed, it devastated some loyal fans, and one such fan was 20-year-old Richard Anthony Kuta, who was left with a longing for the series. Flash forward 10 years, the longing didn't disappear, but only became stronger. He joined newsrooms where fans like him met to discuss their obsession with the Sonic franchise. It was this time around the year 2000 that he first discovered a chat room called Fans United for SAT-AM, or Fuse. SAT-AM was nothing but another name for the discontinued
I was a
series.
boy to a
SAT
3,
meant
so I'm not
Saturday
gonna
AM, referring
remember.
to morning, meaning that this was the show that played on Saturday mornings.
This stuff was like
nickname quickly became
early
useful to many
2000s.
for distinguishing this particular Sonic series from the other ones like Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. In the chat rooms of Fuse, Richard would interact frequently with other Sonic enthusiasts like him, but unlike them, Richard went even further. This was because he was engaged in selling bootleg or illegal copies of the SAT-AM show online. He actually believed that doing this would contribute towards the possibility of the show's revival. But the people on Fuse didn't agree. They thought that this was something that only made it more difficult for the show to be back on TV.
Community of FUS thought he was being far too radical in his approach, and that selling the bootlegs was sending the wrong message.
After some arguments between Richard and the other members of the community, he would be banned from the forum. However, this didn't stop him from creating multiple accounts, which would again be banned from the website. It went to such a degree that the company that created the show, Deke Entertainment, issued a cease and It went to such a degree that the company that
Bro, stop. Bro, hold on, bro. Hold on, bro. Hold on. Wait. Bro, stop. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Oh, wrong. Bro, stop. Bro. Turn this on. What was they thinking? Coming up with a studio. Name this, bro. This gave people the wrong idea. This made people dirty minded, bro. Oh my gosh. This logo became a meme. This logo became a meme, bro. Yo, whose idea was to name that logo? Name the company. Hold on. Gene Chalopin, bro. Oh my. Oh my gosh. This is hilarious. Dog. Yo. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That was funny. That was funny, bro. Oh my. Oh man. Bro, I can't. Hey, let me get back to the video, bro.
Created the show, Deke Entertainment issued a cease and desist order against him. This whole exercise of Richard creating different accounts and getting banned was so frequent that the moderators even created a special ban user group titled SuperNeonIceLogan is a loser. After a lot of discussion, they eventually decided to give him the pass though and let him stay on the server, but even then he managed to botch it by deciding to take things into his own hands regarding the revival of the show. He claimed that he'd been working for quite some time on a set AM movie script, which he pitched to Sega, the company that created Sonic, and surprisingly he also claimed he'd received a response from them. Hi Rich, I just returned from Japan and we did discuss the Sonic movie.
You gonna pitch that to Sega? Hold on, bro. You can't just pitch something because movie studios like 20th Century Studios, Metro Goldwyn Mayer, and Disney, Pixar, Universal, Paramount. They don't take unsolicited submission ideas because one, you're not a movie studio. So you can't just submit something that's unsolicited because a company is not gonna take it. Like, they're really not. Like, maybe if you were like a director or something, then they would take your idea.
Sega Japan is considering several options on how to develop a Sonic movie or new TV show, and it's a decision that will not be made quickly. They do feel that a new project should be developed in the West, as Sonic is considered a Western property. It's never been that popular in Japan. However,
I remember Sonic is a Western property.
Stage until you can submit the details regarding your place in the project. Encouraged by the prospect of himself being the creator of a Sonic movie, Richard began talking about his potential project as if it was done and ready. He boasted in the Fuse forum and again ended up annoying the whole community, but very soon he would again be contacted by Sega, this time for different reasons. I just want to make clear that
bro, Sega not playing, bro. Sega not playing, bro. Bro, Sega not playing. Bro. Sega say. They say. What did he submit for it to not be appropriate? What did he submit?
Sega has not relinquished legal consent to you in any way to pursue the production of a Sonic movie, and it's not appropriate for you to suggest that Sega has done so. We've merely spoken about your interest in securing financing and producing a Sonic movie. You cannot represent yourself as the Sega-sanctioned producer of a Sonic movie. I want you to correct the situation immediately on both the animation
This sucker
forum
think he
and on
worked
your
for
website and in any
Sega.
other
Are
forum
you
where
serious?
post. This is not acceptable. And this blunt message from Sega managed to silence Richard for a while, before he made his appearance by posting an update about his upcoming film. And as expected, there wasn't actually going to be any film. I know about this for a while, and even
Hey, I'm glad that film ain't come out, bro.
Considering the recent events, I don't see the harm in coming clean. Sega of Japan finally made their response.
I'm glad
but the
that film
situation
didn't
is
come
bittersweet.
out.
To avoid actually posting the entire email, I'll post an excerpt. I regret to inform you that we're already in talks with a third party for a production of the Sonic feature. We often receive an interesting offer for the Sonic movies, whether directly or through Sega of America. Well, there you have it. Sega of Japan are in talks with a third party company regarding a feature film, but unfortunately it will not involve me. While some consider this to be the end of Richard's presence on the forums, some had more things to say. One user, Kyonex, noticed that Richard's design for some characters was plagiarized from his drawings. This was the design of the character Dr. Roboto.
This sucker
When confronted by
plagiarized
the artist, Richard
characters?
decided to put the blame on the artist he hired to do the drawing, Rock. But Rock
copyright
wasn't going to let this
infringement, ain't
happen.
gonna
In a long
lie.
post, he admitted that Richard actually gave him Psyonix's design as inspiration. So being exposed by his own team left Richard in an increasingly embarrassing position and made him quit the forum. I won't be posting here anymore. But this announcement would prove unnecessary, as he would be banned the same day. But a month later, Richard would be banned on a few other forums. But his chapter was mostly closed, until it wasn't. Thanks to a website known as Encyclopedia Dramatica, or ED. ED was created in 2010 by Sherwood de Gripo, who decided to archive all the internet drama. The kinds of drama range from trolling incidents to gore
archived all of
content.
that?
It can be described as Wikipedia on steroids, where you could find information about the online presence of some disturbing and very weird individuals. And one of these
I
individuals,
do not want to find
Son
stuff
Magic,
like that.
was
I
none other
don't.
than Richard. And the most crucial information that was included about him would be his obsession with wearing diapers, as well as his page in the diaper space. Richard belonged to a group of people who called themselves ABDL, which when expanded meant adult diaper lover. There's probably no need for me to...
What's even worse, there's videos of those. There's videos of those. That's worse. There's worse. Oh my god. There's worse. Diaper videos? This what people watch? Yeah. People just watch anything. You don't even pay attention to what they looking at. Like, really? My goodness, bro.
Clarify anything further. As time went on, Richard would engage in discussions regarding topics such as which diaper company made the best diapers. But it is also very interesting to note the reason Richard gave for his
Pampers?
But I
Of
know
course,
there's a lot of
Pampers?
confusion
Come
when
on.
it comes to ABDLs, but I'll clarify that to me, it's not a... While it can be for some, most treat it as a lifestyle, which is what I do. So kind of think of it as role play that you commit to on a daily basis. So I guess that's the abridged version of it.
Other information that was presented in the ED page regarding Richard was his MySpace and OkCupid accounts. OkCupid was a popular dating site back then.
I don't
Here,
use
Richard would
MySpace.
post long-winded paragraphs about his personal experience of being lonely and single. Valentine's Day, a secular holiday fabricated by the greeting card industry that only contributes to emotional affliction. How can someone truly share a psych system with couples making out a few steps shy of you when
Man, I do not want to hear that, bro. I do not want to hear this, bro. Oh my gosh, bro. Anytime we Valentine's Day, they be like, then I wonder why a girl don't want you. Cause of stuff like this, bro. Bro. That's like someone saying, oh, that's like someone going to everybody, talking about, oh, you know, who my girlfriend. Y'all just friends. Y'all just friends. And they went to prom together. Like, come on, dude. Jeez. Bro, the fact men would get like this when it's Valentine's Day, like, come on, bro. Then y'all wonder why females date certain men, bro. It's like it'd be mad or annoying. Like her commercials are constantly endorsing jewelry and painting a delusional picture. What are you talking about, bro? Like, what are you talking about, bro? This, bro, I ain't even down with somebody like that in school, bro. Always acting like that, like they famous or whatever. They be lying about stuff all the time. And like, come on, man. And it's like you still be lying to people, bro. For real? Man, I can't stand that, bro. Oh, or it's like somebody I know in school, bro. And anytime they get in trouble, whatever, they be yelling at them like it's our fault. How is it that every time you get in trouble, you gonna yell at us like it's our fault? You can't just yell at somebody because you got in trouble, bro. Like, that's just stupid, bro. Seriously. Like, can't stand that person always lying all the time, bro. Mad loud. And they thinking they all that. It's like, bro. Yo, every Valentine's Day, I do not be like this. I really don't. Like, come on, man. And like the girls I had in school, they were just friends. Just female friends. Not no girlfriend and boyfriend. It wasn't all that type of stuff. It was just female friends. That's it. And I was glad to have female friends. Not too many people have them. Man, bro. I swear.
Commercials are constantly endorsing jewelry and painting a false depiction of what the happy relationship is supposed to be. I abstain from all female companionship, especially since I've not been fortunate enough to experience true love. This page exposed Richard to...
And that right there is why relationships do not last, bro. That is why. That is why. That is why they don't last. You think you have some that last forever, and some don't last at all. It's like, dude.
To the whole world, but it didn't actually seem to have any effect on him, as he once again got back to his ambition to make a Sonic fan film after he was contacted by another infamous Sonic community member, Spax3. But even this wouldn't go well, with Spax threatening to file a lawsuit against Richard for a business issue. And like any other fight on the internet, nothing came out of it. But despite all of this, Richard's attempt to make a Sonic film continued, and he ended up annoying the headquarters of Sega. In 2009, they sent him another cease and desist notice to stop him from pestering them.
This sucker went on his way.
Headquarters of Sega. In 2009, they sent him another cease and desist notice to stop him.
You went your way to harass the headquarters of Sega, knowing they're not interested in pursuing the above referenced project or property. Do you forget you don't work for a company, bro? Letter serves as Sega's formal request for you to stop contacting Sega and or any person employed by Sega. Your continued efforts to contact Sega and or any person employed by Sega will be considered harassment. Should you continue to contact Sega and or any person employed by Sega regarding the above referenced material or the unsolicited project materials, Sega will take any and all legal action it deems necessary. Sega does not expect to receive a response to this letter. Any further communication for you will not be answered. Wow. Yeah, you know what, bro? That's why I like Sonic, bro, and I respect Sega for that. I really do. I respect Sega. I support they brand, franchises, everything. What is the thing? I've been a long time Sonic fan. You say I got like Sonic plushies, they got Sonic like t-shirts and everything. I play like the Sonic games, everything, bro. Where's the nigga? I'm a long time Sonic fan. Like, bro, I'll never stop being a Sonic fan. Like, never. It's like, bro.
From pestering them continuously. This blow was huge, as Richard would stop posting on the forums again, only to appear on another site, this time on YouTube, under the username A Not Hall Resident.
How can anybody find this remotely entertaining, or even enjoyable for that matter? I could barely get through an hour of this game, and I'm already finding myself getting frustrated over it.
I won't be going over every aspect of Richard's YouTube channel, which unfortunately, or fortunately, has been lost, but I'll talk about the one video that brought him in front of a wider audience. It was a reaction video to the Sonic 4 game trailer.
Oh my goodness.
This response from Richard.
Hey, I have not played Sonic 4, but I have heard about the game though. I have not played Sonic 4, like I have not.
While seemingly normal, although a bit weird, made him a target of many Sonic fans' hate, who believed he was nitpicking the faults. And due to the many comments and hate on this video, Richard decided to delete it. I removed the string of rant videos because apparently this generation is devoid of intelligence and would rather drink the Sega Kool-Aid than think for themselves. To which another user replied, "Have fun watching old episodes of Sad AM every night, alone in your bedroom." Another video on his channel was him justifying and informing the world about who adult really are.
And what you do is you just kind of transport yourself back into that innocent moment of childhood. And it's nothing more than just harmless escapism. There's nothing about it.
After all these events, Richard would slowly reduce his presence online, while the documentation of his activities was only increasing. One site after ED that helped with this was Kiwi Forums, which was like Reddit for online harassment. Eventually, in 2022, Richard would claim on Twitter that he quit being an ADDL. But some users dug deeper and found out that he was still active on Reddit in the ABDL subreddits under the username Munkin Plastic. And he would post disturbing requests for babysitters to take care of him. And in a similar fashion...
What? What is wrong with you?
Richard
Hey, Meteonis is real!
Continues to be exposed to this day. The most recent comment was left on June 19th, 2025. But still, his love saga of Sonic would seem very normal compared to what the next person did.
I was attracted to Sonic.
When Jason Tyler showed a liking for the Sonic the Hedgehog, his parents didn't think much of it, as they knew that kids frequently obsessed over fictional characters. On top of that, Jason was medically autistic, so it wasn't something to worry about. But still, this...
Yo, the fact said, oh, I don't obsess over a fictional character. Like, bro, you know what? You know what characters are like from Street Fighter, bro? I'm about to show y'all. Hold on, bro. I like Ryu, Kimmy, and my favorite. Come on, man. Jump. Bro, what is with this ad, man? Bro, hold on. Jung Lee, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This obsession gave rise to something very disturbing. It all started when Jason turned as he unknowingly stumbled upon two things. One was Sonic the Hedgehog, and the other one was a disturbing practice called sounding. To explain it in a PG manner, it is the practice of inserting long...
Yo. Like, bro, what? Dog, for real?
Objects like pens and pencils into one's private organ. Jason got into
Pens and pencils? That stuff got lead in it.
this habit, and it didn't end well for him. Once he used a rusty nail, and the ensuing trauma to his organ sent him into a coma for around 15 days. After this recovery, Jason stopped sounding once and for all, but as if compensating for it, his Sonic obsession grew even more. At first, Jason was just a typical Sonic fan who frequented chat rooms and forums, and eventually he named himself J Sonic, a combination of his favorite character's name and of course his own name. It was also at this time in 2007 when J Sonic made himself a DeviantArt account, and this is where things get completely weird, as J Sonic revealed to the world a deep-rooted fantasy about his love for his Sonic plush toy. This wasn't just your everyday kind of love, but something that involved a physical side to it, and it will be clearer if you read a post he made in 2008. I want to tell everyone who watches me that I'm a plushophile. Now, I have many Sonic plush toys, all of them only Sonic the Hedgehog. A couple of them are out for the same purpose. A few others are in my private drawer, one for snuggling while I'm in bed sleeping, and the other one for making love with. I adore Sonic, and have been a plushophile since I was 20, and been a true Sonic fan since I was Although I'm still a plushophile, I'm still a true Sonic fan, and a loyal one also. Sonic is my plush boyfriend.
Hey, yo, what? This is why I don't be joining fandoms, bro, because fandoms be mad weird. Bro, that one fandom, My Hero Academia, the Loud House one is worse. It was great. I used to watch the Loud House. I didn't watch the live action one though. I didn't watch the live action one. I didn't watch the movies. I just watched the show, not the movies.
Not surprisingly, his account quickly got banned from the site, and this made him realize he had nothing in common with other Sonic fans. And this is when he found solace by posting on another website called Fur Affinity, which was a website for furry enthusiasts. And it speaks volumes that even on a website that hosts relatively interesting people, J Sonic managed to get himself banned in 2022 for trying to coerce a younger user into seeing NSFW content. This obviously led people to label him as a PDF file. Thanks for wanting to be my friend on here, although I need to warn you, are you above 18? I'm totally NSFW, but on the server I try to be as safe for work as I can. I'm actually... Okay, I am...
What is this sucker trying to do? It's like a saying he won 6.
42. Just don't tell anyone and it will be fine. I will just tell you that I have intimate relations with a Sonic plush toy, without me even showing your pictures or anything. I'm very uncomfortable with this. I thought you would be. Not everyone's okay with this. There was other evidence that proved that J Sonic might be a PDF file, but he kept denying it.
Oh my gosh.
He confessed it on Twitter. Blocked me. I will admit that, yes. I did show private parts to someone younger, but they...
Lock him up. Lock him up. Lock him up. Lock him up. Lock him up.
Ambushed me. They said they were very excited for Sonic also. I hang my head in shame because of this. But these events, despite their nature, would only be background noise compared to what was at the center of the stage. This is the Sonic plushie he...
Oh, yo! What this sucker do? What was it dirty like that? Yo.
Used for 20 years, and it is unwashed. Now, one user named Justin would reveal that
this sucker didn't wash it.
They sold J Sonic a Sonic plushie on eBay, and after selling the plushie, Justin expected he would hear no more from his overly enthusiastic but kind buyer, but he was indeed wrong. A few days later, J Sonic hits him up with a very shocking message, in which he apologized for something he'd done to the toy. I'm almost ashamed to write you back after I read that reply. I've been in a cutting phase for several months now, and I have to cut up the plush toy to where it's only his head now. I did spend a lot of money on it, and I've even gone to buy another one because I feel guilty about going all barbaric on it. I mean, I still love Sonic, but I blame it on the 2 vaccines, an adrenaline rush that has caused me to cut up this Sonic plush toy. At first,
bro. Bro, I can't. What's wrong with the Sonic community, bro? Seriously.
Out of pocket for that shit. Way out of pocket. What do you gain from that?
First, Justin didn't fully realize what it was all about and offered consolation to J Sonic. But then, when Justin talked about his weird eBay customer to his friends, they quickly pointed out that it might be none other than the...
This video about to be an hour long, cause... Bro, this video about to be an hour long. I said it wasn't gonna be 1 hour, but now it's gonna be an hour long, bro. I'm literally like 51 minutes. I've been recording for like 51 minutes, bro.
The actual J Sonic himself, the infamous Sonic lover. And this became more certain when Jason found out what J Sonic wrote in his recent blog. Well, I finally snapped again. I've removed his entire body, just his head, ears and eyes are left of my Sonic plush toy. Dang. And it also didn't take J Sonic much time to get a new plush toy, to which he even gave a new name. Sonic the Hawk.
That is an insane name.
But even this plushie would face destruction in J Sonic's hands. I haven't been doing so well with this plush toy, because now it's like cut down to where I only have his face intact. He was expensive as well, 127.
You spent that much just to... You spent 127 on a Sonic plush? You ain't gonna see me spend much on a Sonic plush. That's even like eBay, the rare Sonic plushies. Hold on, if I go on eBay real quick and look up Sonic plushies, bro, like rare ones. We got rare Sonic plushies. Bro, look how much they charge for like. And it's the ones that's rare, bro. Look at this one. And this is from Sonic Games, bro. $534. $534 for that. And this one, $1,000. $1,000 for this. $1,000. Dog.
And I had to go do this. I'm telling you that these 2 vaccines were the culprit of me cutting up not 1, not 2, but 4 Sonic plush toys. I can just kick myself for doing that. As this saga got bigger, it also got more popular. And in 2023, J Sonic felt the need to make his first public appearance to explain himself to all the trolls.
It's me, J Sonic, and I have a message for all you trolls. I'm not a... I'm a blush file, not the... Okay?
Naturally, this backfired, and J Sonic had to just keep to himself from that moment on, away from the internet. But while J Sonic might seem like an
it's basically just still here for the internet. That's all I gotta say.
Still manages to give nightmares to many online.
I do not want to know the story. I do not want to know the story. Hey, y'all remember this?
Which ultimately led to him having an relationship with his own mother.
What? What is your mom doing? You gonna get on your mom, bro? Bro! I seen the headlines of this. I seen the headlines of this. I seen headlines.
On August 1st, 2021, officers from the Henrico County Police Department get an order to arrest an individual who was residing in a hotel. And when officers knocked on the door, it was opened by Christina Chandler.
Yes.
Hi, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Christine Chandler.
Okay, can you come out for a second?
Who, though seeming a bit eccentric, still managed to have a normal, sometimes even cheerful conversation with them. But quickly the conversation would change, as the police were being watched from afar by some suspicious individuals.
There is nothing illegal in the room and nothing illegal in the bag.
And then when they were escorting Chris or Christina to the police vehicle, the number of onlookers increased. And they even started talking to Christina and shouting, "The merge is coming."
Okay, the merge coming. It's happening now. We're on the very last thread.
This confused the whole team of police, who weren't informed about the dark history of the individual they were arresting. Christopher Weston Chandler was born in 1982 to Bob and Barbara Chandler. While this was a happy event for the couple, it was something that was filled with misgivings since the beginning. For starters, Bob was 42 and Barbara was 50 when Chris was born. This high parental age raised the chances of the child having some developmental delays or other abnormalities. And sadly, this is exactly what happened as Chris was diagnosed with autism. But at the beginning, nothing of this nature was apparent in Chris. Another issue was that Bob and Barbara were both alcoholics who frequently hired a babysitter named Rosh to keep an eye on their son. While she was mostly nice to him, Chris would later blame her for his autism in his early YouTube videos.
And I came over to her and said something, and she was kind of angry at me because I interrupted her phone call. That she locked me in a room for nothing but toys, and she just locked me in there. Well, that's how my autism began.
Chris' high school phase was important because this was the time he first encountered Sonic and realized that by mixing two fictional characters, he could build others. And this is when he created a character that would go on to become something synonymous with it. It was a mixture of Sonic and Pikachu. And the reason he created it was for a class project in which students weren't allowed to use copyrighted characters. And finally, Chris used two copyrighted characters to create a new one. After graduating from high school in the year 2000, Chris would join Virginia Community College and enroll in the computer-aided drafting and design course. And even after high school, he continued working on Sonic Shoe, even distributing newsletters on campus. Behind all this, however, Chris was deeply unsatisfied with college life, as people didn't approach him. He also very desperately wanted a girlfriend, which led him to sit on his college campus with a sign that read, "I'm a 20-year-old and single male seeking a cute 18 to 21 single female and companion." The name he gave for this method of finding a girlfriend was Love Quest, and naturally this put him in hot water with the dean of the college, Mary Lee Walsh. Initially, Mary
Love Quest, like Quest Love?
only warned him about the sign. But despite these warnings, Chris continued his love quest and had to be called to the dean's office again, where a normal conversation quickly turned into something else, when Chris suddenly started to talk aloud with Sonic Shoe, and after being asked to stop, he cursed at her in a fit of rage, and this led to him being suspended from the college for a whole year. Later in his life, Chris would then start drawing obscene drawings of the people he hated. One such person was Mary. During his college phase, Chris actually managed to become friends with a girl named Megan Schroeder. While it may seem surprising that she took a friendly interest in him, in hindsight it might have been only because he'd recently suffered from a bad breakup. But despite this, Chris began to make inappropriate moves on her, which eventually led her to accuse him of harassment. All the ups and downs in Chris' life resulted in him escaping this reality by creating comics, and this would be the Sonic Shoe comics. Although initially it was only meant to be about this one fictional character, slowly real incidents from Chris' life started seeping into it, and after some time, even the comics started affecting his actual life. Sonic Shoe was first noticed by some users on 4chan who stumbled upon it by chance, and this led them to the creator, who was Chris. Another instance of Chris' early fame was when one user who went to the same college as Chris posted on this Something Awful forum about the Love Quest incident. "This guy used to leave business cards at my school's library where he would hang out for hours looking for a boyfriend-free girl. This is how I first learned of him. From here I developed something of an obsession, culminating last summer when I made a special trip to a gaming store and local hangout where he posted he would be. He was very bit as interesting as I'd imagined. I present to you Sonic Shoe." This post wasn't even related to the real topic of the thread, but it still ended up interesting so many people that they created a separate thread topic for him. And without Chris being aware, multiple people online started to take an interest in his story and comment, and this cascaded into the creation of an ED article on it by Jason Henwall. Now Chris eventually found out about this, and when he did, he wasn't happy because he found the article to be damaging to his reputation. To counter this, he would release a YouTube video naively asking the creators to remove the ED page on him.
"Take them down, please. I'm asking. As an innocent victim of misunderstanding, just take down your web pages or add them to positively better reflect my feelings as an individual."
But of course, this didn't end up happening, and enraged, Chris began adding weird things to the page, and one of these was a drawing of him doing a very inappropriate thing to
dog. This is what be wrong with people nowadays. They mind what they view, just mess it up. Their mindset. That's the only way they mess it up is their mindset. Don't even pay attention to what they be looking at. This girl goes away and draw this. This, bro. Bro, this is crazy.
His friend Megan. While this was posted to damage the ED page, it ended up
Megan.
backfire as Megan found out that Chris had been drawing her like this. Chris initially captioned the pic, "Your sister has something for me." This led many to imagine that it was Chris' own fictional sister.
I ain't gonna lie, that shirt go hard. V-Long. Hold on, what do V-Long mean? What does that mean? Live V-Long, die V-Long. Symbolizing the victory, self-reliance, and the... Hold on, what? Oh, it's an actual thing. Bro, I've been seeing that logo so many times. Oh, that's V-Long? Oh. Oh, that's what that is. I'm like... Oh, so that's what that means. Hey, this way you gotta look up still what it means, because... You don't know.
Named Chris. The caption was meant for John Schwerber, Megan's brother, whom Chris mistakenly believed to be behind the trolls. Megan obviously lost trust in Chris, even though he promised never to do something like this again. But their friendship ended, and so people got more of a reason to continue trolling and pranking Chris online. One of the most shocking pranks committed on Chris was when people made him believe that he had an online girlfriend named Blanca Weiss. This identity was created by 3 users: Ricky, Ricardo 123, Icarus69, and Nurse Iki-chan, who under the guise of Blanca emailed Chris. Believing it to be a real girl, Chris began doing anything to please her, and he went as far as photograph himself in his own mother's underwear. But the real objective behind all of this was to get Chris to give them his Sonic Shoe medallion, one of his most prized possessions. This necklace, which he wore almost every time, became part of his trademark style and his identity, and the pranksters asked Chris to send this exact medallion, and Chris, thinking this would increase his chances
my bad.
With Blanca, sent it. Inevitably, Chris was deeply hurt when his quote-unquote girlfriend posted a video of slowly breaking the medallion to pieces on YouTube. And this opened Chris's eyes to the fact that he had been trolled all this time, which led to him being even more depressed, added to the fact that he was alone with his widowed mother after his father died in 2011. Chris came to realize how his online persona was affecting him, so he stopped responding to trolls and stopped frequenting the online forums. But this still didn't stop him from igniting drama in his real life. In October of 2011, Chris and his mother Barb were arrested for assault on Michael Snyder, the manager at the game store that Chris frequent and where he had a long
This sucker assaulted the GameStop manager. What the man
history of causing trouble, and so he was banned from entering it in 2008. But upon hearing that the management had changed and assuming that Michael wasn't employed there anymore, Chris and Barb visited the store. But unfortunately, Michael was still indeed there, and they exited the store, but not without injuring Michael by dashing him with their car. When the police were called, Barb even assaulted the police officer, and the ensuing legal battle sucked much of the money that Bob had left, leaving the mother and son in deep financial crisis. In response to this, Chris started selling his artwork on Facebook to his fans, but the money he actually got, he spent irresponsibly on buying toys to place in his already crowded room, in which he spent more and more time, as the little friends he had started to abandon him one by one. This wasn't without reason either, but due to the fact that Chris was becoming increasingly antisocial and homophobic. In an email to Megan, he wrote, "Yes, I'm a homophobe. I fear them all, and I fear the tormenting temptations of falling off the straight path. But then I mentally, sometimes with PD, and if you'll pardon the expression, shove some pee in my face. I tell you what, if I ever stoop down to changing my path, I might as well get a gender change operation." And this would prove to be peak irony, because in 2014, Chris would claim that he is transition and that people should start referring to him with female pronouns. For people observing the sun transformation, it seemed like Chris' mental state was dropping lower and lower, and it seemed like he didn't learn anything from his past mistakes. And in December of that year, Chris again attacked an employee at GameStop, earning himself a stay in jail for one night and a $540 fine. The financial condition only worsened when Bart was sued by 2 banks because he didn't pay $20,000 of debt. But despite that, Chris still managed to spend around $6,000 buying new toys and consoles during the crisis. He even thought it would be smart if he begged for money on the internet with thousands of dollars worth of collectibles behind it. But one event during this time that holds special significance looking back now is a comment from Chris on a Facebook post. This post was about a mother and son in Mexico who were involved in an inappropriate relationship with each other, and while every other
This happened in Mexico? Bro.
the comment felt disgusting.
Crazy
Chris
stuff
was the only one who
happened
did,
over
and in
the
fact
years,
actively
bro.
defended the couple. Anyhow, who among everyone in this world has not had a dream of having relations with one of their parents, never acting on them ever? I myself did have dreams of having relations with my mother. Although this is quite a controversial topic, there are circumstances where there would not be so much harm as one may think, feel or believe. To which a user replied, Christine Weston Chandler, I'm sure I don't need to say this, but don't engage in this. It's a mistake you'll never be able to take back. I have not and I would not. But then came the COVID-19 pandemic, when people were restricted to their homes. Chris was fed up with his failures of getting a girl, but no one imagined to what length this desire for a woman would take him. On the 9th of July 27th, 2021, Chris, while on a call with one of his friends, Bella, who was in fact a troll, began to confess about what he and his mother were up to. And hearing these details, Bella immediately started recording the call, and after that even took screenshots of the chat. It seemed like Chris was always itching to publicize the fact of his relationship with his mother. In his chats, he went into extreme and disturbing details about how he made his mother happy. With enough evidence at her hands, Bella released this information publicly, which caused such outrage that people who didn't even know the whole Chris Chan story started talking about it. And so in no time, Chris and Barb were separated by authorities, and Chris went on to stay in a hotel, and this is where the Henrico Police Department arrested him. He was eventually charged for engaging in inappropriate relations with family members, and while awaiting trial for a felony, Chris began acting in more extreme manners,
I didn't know
claiming
he
that
could
was
get charged
Jesus
for
and that
that.
the merge was
I
happening.
didn't
For
know
Chris, the
that.
merge was an apocalyptic event when the world came to an end, and he was made God. Observing this very behavior, the trial was postponed, and Chris was sent to a mental institution instead. In 2022, there weren't any news about it, and people speculated that this might be the end of the saga, but it wasn't. In March of 2023, after spending 2 years in jail, Chris was released, all thanks to his lawyer, Dale Halberg, who used his autism to be tried differently. And while the charges still stayed, Chris managed to get himself out of jail. But after a few days, even the charges were dropped on August 25th, 2023. And ever since then, Chris had been keeping to himself and making few appearances online.
Wow. Wow. Great video. Great video. Wow, bro. Anyways, there you have it. That was most disturbing crimes that happened in the Sonic community by Yapmaster. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Logan out.